welcome to the Tragikast. This is the School of Tragikart Discord podcast thing where we just talk about nerdy stuff in video games. And this is your host Seraph, and as always, I am joined by Kevin. How you doing?
I am good.
I feel like we played a little bit of games this week, but not as much as we normally do.
I would say
Average?
probably the most we played in like a month.
Really? What did we do? Back for Blood Saturday. Yeah.
We did it more than just Saturday.
Did we Friday too?
No,
No.
I don't remember if we did Friday, but I think we did it a couple other times throughout the week.
Yeah, Back for Blood has been a lot of fun. It's been scratching my shooter itch.
Yeah. It does feel good. What doesn't feel good is wiping on the final round of an axe.
Twice?
Twice.
Yeah, I was actually pretty upset.
Yeah.
I blame Kingston.
Well, the first time we can't blame Kingston because it was just the three of us. So we can blame Ryan for not being there.
Yeah, I changed my mind. I blame Ryan. For both.
And Logan. It's always Logan's fault.
True. 100%. So I imagine you've also been playing Ghost of Tsushima?
Yeah, been playing that. I also picked up, I think I mentioned the Wild True Learn, which is free on the Epic Game Store this week.
Yeah, was that Learn?
Yeah, it's a machine learning puzzle game. Sounds kind of weird. Yeah, it's actually designed to be like an intro into machine learning, kind of give you a high level of what machine learning is, and it's a puzzle game.
That's pretty cool.
I beat all of the rounds of it earlier today, so I have finished it.
I was about to say, you believe the game?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I could still go back through because you can get different like medal, or you get like bronze, silver, and gold medals based on how fast and how few nodes you use to solve the puzzle, and so I could still go back through and gold everything, but I have completed everything at least.
Yeah, if this was on PlayStation, you'd try to plat that.
Yeah. Speaking of trophies on PlayStation, I did see an article yesterday that thought of you. Somebody had posted an article for every game on PlayStation Now and how long it takes to get the Platinum Trophy for those games.
Oh, really?
Every single game. And they put them in order of fewest amount of time to get it. And so I was looking through it, and there are literally like 10 games on there that take less than an hour to get the Platinum. I was like,
holy crap. Man, time to get... Well, it's funny that we're talking about PlayStation Now. I might be a future PlayStation Now...
Yeah. And
so that's some
yeah,
good info.
But also on that, did you ever play White Knight Chronicles?
No, that doesn't sound familiar.
It's an older game, PS3 maybe? I can't remember. I think it's PS3. It's
Yep.
RPG
Wow.
type game. But yeah, that one was the one that took the most time to platinum, and I think it was like 650 hours or something like that. And I was like, I'm sitting here like, I've played this game, and the game was good, but I'm not sinking 600 hours into a game. Yeah.
No fucking way! Is the difficulty 8 out of 10 because
of the
it
time?
takes
I don't
600
know.
hours?
This was the last time I played it was way before I did any trophy hunting. So
it's always good when step 1 is just play the game. Don't even worry about anything else. Just play the fucking...
Then step 2 is second playthrough. Those are the ones that get me. I hate the second playthroughs.
Me too.
It's
yeah.
A platinum trophy, you should be able to do it all in one run.
Yep.
Unless the only exception is if your game has a new game plus mode that changes things.
Mm-hmm.
But if you don't have that, yeah, that kind of bothers me.
So then you have to build guild rank, then gold star, then gold medal, and then perfectionist badge until you're GR 12. Jesus.
Yeah, I played this game and none of this makes any sense to me. To be fair, it has been a long time ago.
God. First unlocked in 2010. Recently unlocked. Like, these are like, is it always top 5 or is this like the only 5 people? Different times, obviously.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Although only 2 people on the, three people in the last 2 years.
Yeah, because when I go, this is what I do when I go to be like, oh, do I want to complete this game? Do I want to 100% it? I look at the estimated time, kind of give a glance through of like possible glitches and stuff to avoid, and I gotta admit, I see that, and I really, this game has to be one of my favorite games of all time for me to be like, okay.
Yeah, and I don't, like I said, I played it. It doesn't stand out as a or a game that I need to play over and over again or spend that much time on. So.
See, like this one, I go, oh, all right, that's reasonable, and I did it.
Look up Ghost of Tsushima. I want to see what it is. It didn't look like it would be that bad.
Most games like that nowadays aren't. This is not really the same one. I use this site too. 40 hours. Yeah, it's not bad.
Yeah,
and that's, you can do it in one playthrough.
Yeah, it did look like it was just one playthrough of just playing the game.
Yep, difficulty's not very high.
And 40 hours is probably less than what I would put into it because RPG completionist. I gotta check out everything.
Yeah, and all the Yakuza games float around this time. So like, this is probably my max cap for a game. I think as soon as like we enter like the 150, this has to be like my favorite of the series for me to really.
Yeah, I'm not a hardcore trophy hunter. Normally platinums I only reserve for games that I enjoy playing. I'm not gonna sit down and a game I don't enjoy. So like, for me, Biomutant. I know a lot of people hated that game, but I really enjoyed it, and I played through it and completed everything, and only had like 2 trophies left.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, yeah, I can do this. I
might as well. Yeah, I get it. That makes sense. But yeah, a lot of that's insane. 600 plus hours. I've never seen that. Actually, I'm kind of curious. What is the longest game to complete? Let's do PlayStation though, because I don't really.
World of Warcraft. Farming Simulator 9.
Yeah, 134.
Yeah, that's
and
completion.
That's PlayStation 4 history.
Yeah, I don't think that's looking at trophy completions. I think that's looking at main storyline completion.
Let's do that. I guess I can leave PlayStation in there. It's still PS4. Why is everything PS4? It's a lot of vague stuff. Looks like there isn't normally you type something like that. Why always PlayStation 4? Yeah, we know that's not true.
Oh, I think that's just the
hardest
trophies in that game.
Let's see what the number 1 is. I'm cheating.
Last of Us?
No.
Really? No.
Nope, because I did
it. That one was only listed at like 30 hours.
Yeah, that wasn't bad. No, I don't believe you. White Knight Chronicles.
1,000+ hours is what they've got it listed at.
Yo, dude, with some of that shit, like, it says 600 plus, I think, for a reason, to be honest with you. Alright, we're gonna count that in my mind until something comes up, or someone says in the comment section.
The article I read, there were several that were in the like 300 to 400 range, but nothing was above like 400 except it, and it was like 600. And I was like, this is a big gap here. Although, to be fair, I wonder what the Final Fantasy 14 Platinum Trophy, how long it would.
I'm literally looking at it right now.
500, so yeah. That makes sense.
It's literally harder to do the White Knight, which I didn't think. That's crazy, because a lot of these, if I remember correctly, are just kind of like play the game, right? But then max out a war,
The 1,000 Fates is the big one.
Yeah, complete 1,000 Fates, 100 instant raids, 1,000 lev quests. Damn. Yep. So, alright, White Knight Chronicle, I see you. I'm gonna become a White Knight Chronicle streamer.
Yeah, if I remember correctly, it does play a little bit like a MMO, or like a single player, so.
Almost like the Kingdom of Amalur style?
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. Like I said, it's PS3. It's been probably 15 years since I played it.
Gotcha. Oh, if I get a PlayStation now, maybe I'll eventually, and I somehow clear up my backlog.
Clear it out and then just have a year off before anything else comes out.
Build up my backlog again.
New game comes out and I'm like, hey Marco, you want to play? You're just like, no, got a platinum White
Knight Chronicle. I'm only 400 hours in. 200 more hours to go, man.
I think it does have some multiplayer component to it.
Oh, that's pretty cool though. Sweet. All right, well, let's dive into to the new releases for this week. I'm gonna start at the bottom and work our way up because there's some. The one on top, if anybody who was cheating and paid attention on the screen, we're probably gonna dive a little bit more into than some of the other ones. So we have Witchwood, which is coming into everything. Monster Rancher 1 and 2 DX, Switch, PC, iOS. Loop Hero is coming to the Switch. You played Loop Hero, right?
Yes, I played it on PC.
And
I didn't really think. What's that?
Does this excite you?
Yeah. So I didn't realize this was coming to the Switch, and thinking about it, this I think is a perfect game for the Switch. This is a game that you can pick up and play for 15 minutes and then put it down. Play it on a car ride somewhere, that kind of thing. It's not super intensive. Since you haven't played it, the basic premise of it is that you're playing basically the hero and the for lack of a better term, DM at the same time. And so what you're doing is your hero is just running around in a loop, and you draw cards, and then you use the cards to build things on the loop. Okay. Some of them may be monster spawners that your hero then has to fight through. Or some of them may be chests that every time he passes through, he picks up a chest and gets loot out of it. But the purpose is that the more stuff you put on there, the more gear he gets, the more he levels up, but the harder it gets.
Okay. Makes sense. Kind of like
and then it gets to the and then it gets to a point that after you put so many things down, it spawns a boss, and you have to defeat the boss, and that's what clears the loop, and you can move on in the story. And that they do have different classes, so your hero can be like a rogue, or it can be a warrior, or a necromancer, I think is the other one. Or at least that was the last time I played it. I don't know if they've added anything new. But yeah, it's just basically you drawing cards and laying them down, and then your hero picking up stuff, and you putting the equipment on, and you do builds. And I mean, it has builds and stuff like that, so you can do, your rogue could do lifesteal and just do a lifesteal rogue. Or necromancer who just spawns an obscene amount of or like skeletons to fight for you.
So then are you gonna pick it up?
I don't know. I don't know what the price is.
Probably 35. If I guess.
Probably won't pick it up. It'll probably be one of those things that if I picked it up, it would be when I was going on vacation and was looking to add something to my Switch. But I mean, if I'm gonna just play it at home, I already have it on the PC, so.
Makes sense. Yeah, because that and you've still got Slay the Spire.
True.
Which will last you all the way from, North Carolina to Chicago.
Yeah. And considering I'm still only on like, what is it, Ascendant? Is that what they called it? Yeah, I'm only on like Ascendant 2 on my top one, so.
Yep. Yeah, still pretty cool. Maybe pick that up later then. I don't know. I'll probably play on the PC before I got on the Switch, to be honest with you. If I ever do end up picking it up, if it gets free on the Epic Store. So next up is Halo Infinite for obviously Xbox and PC. Did you play the new Halo at all, or were you the smart and intelligent one who's like knew that we wouldn't like this game?
I was in the second category.
Yeah. Yeah, I tried so hard. I played for like 3 games, and I was just like, I just the slow T2K is just not my thing.
Yeah.
And then the whole, you have to fight over the power weapons, and everyone has these base garbage weapons, but then the power weapons one-shot you, and I was like, what? Why? Why?
Yeah, this is like that one round of Trials in Destiny. It's just the whole game's like that.
Yeah. Which I like Trials, but yeah.
It was only one round.
True. This should be the campaign though, so anybody who does like the Halo Infinite campaign, you got something to look forward to. You let me know how you like it, because you'll miss me with that one.
Does anybody even play the Halo campaigns?
I have no clue.
It's like the Call of Duty campaigns. Like they actually just stopped putting them in the games because no one played them.
I only played them if I was going for the trophy. White Shadows coming to PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X, and PC. That looks interesting. I got kind of overshadowed on the other stuff. I wonder if it looks very indie platforming. And then Spellforce 3 Reforced, it's coming to all. Life is Strange, True Colors, for all of you Life is Strange fans out there. I hope it's an enjoyable game. It got an 8.5 from Game Informer, for whatever that is worth to you. Heavenly Bodies, PlayStation 5, PlayStation 4, PC. Here's one of the big ones. Gang Beast is coming to Switch.
Yeah, I remember. Throwback to Binky. Was super excited when this game got announced.
God, he's still waiting in line for that PlayStation. Or to sell it, or whatever he was going to do.
Yeah, but yeah, we never played it.
Nope. Yeah, I've seen streamer or like the YouTube stuff on it, and it looked weird as fuck. So you missed me with that one. And the big one, Final Fantasy XIV Endwalker is officially released to people who didn't pre-order tomorrow, December 7th.
Yes.
Excited?
Finally here.
Even though you're not playing right away, I know that.
No. But... Yeah. I'm a little excited, mostly for the new class. I'm still way behind on the story, but
yeah.
The new class, kinda, yeah. Someone was like, at Square was like, what do we need to do to make him come back and play this game? It's like, let's release a Reaper class.
Yep. There's a boardroom just to be like, hey, how do we get Kevin to buy this game again?
Because literally, I'm sitting here thinking, what's the one thing that is going to make me resubscribe and start playing again? And that is literally the only thing I can think of. It's like, I don't think they could have done anything else that would have made me come back but dropping Reaper class.
Yep, and now you gotta come back and play. I believe your current plan is when your week starts. I think you said the 17th.
Yeah, still be playing it by ear. If they're still having some of the issues they are, I might not.
Yeah, no. If you want to dive a little bit further into that, since I know you kind of have the down low on the Final Fantasy information, what's going on?
All right, so we all know. I think we've talked about it on our podcast previously about the mass influx of new players into Final Fantasy.
Yep.
Even before this expansion dropped, Final Fantasy was at its peak in active player base.
Yep.
Which is a very strange place to be for a MMO to be at the peak player base in the last year of an expansion.
Yeah.
So like even before the new expansion drops. So all these people who haven't even been playing, like me, are now coming back for the expansion. So you add that into the already peak numbers.
Yeah.
And
this is gonna be massive.
Yeah, you've got it's crazy because I read an article last week, or maybe over the weekend, that was talking about Final Fantasy released on Steam last year, I think, and Steam has still got to be, I think, the lower end of where most players play. Most people just play off of the Final Fantasy launcher.
Yeah, the client.
But at the beginning of the year, or actually midsummer, there were 45,000 active users on Steam. As of last week, there were 90,000. And that's just your Steam numbers. That's not counting the Final Fantasy launcher numbers.
Yeah, which are going to be a lot more.
Yeah.
That's insane.
And that's also not counting PlayStation numbers.
Yeah.
Because it is cross-platform. And so, yeah, they are at a peak player base, and we also know that we're in a position now in the gaming industry where you can't just open new servers or bring new servers online because of the super conduit shortage or whatever it is. So they can't just bring new servers up. So they're just having to try to find a way to balance off the servers they already have. With this new expansion, they did a whole database wipe and rechange so that the servers could calculate numbers faster.
Okay.
And it's still not been enough. They had the foresight that they knew this was going to happen. They tried their best to handle it, but hey, there's only so much you can do when so many people try to get on at the same time.
So what are some of the things that these users are experiencing? Just like long load times to get into the server, or is it stability? Yeah. Or
I've seen multiple things. Some people are having problems even launching the game. Okay. Like the launcher won't even connect.
Wow.
And then there are people who are spending hours in the queue time and then getting errored out and having to re-enter the queue. Ooh. And everybody knows that on the high pop servers that people manipulated it, that once they get into the server, they do things to make sure they never get out. Yep. So they don't have to re-queue. Yep. That makes your high pop servers, the queue times could be days.
That's insane.
They haven't announced that they would do it this year or with this expansion, but I remember back in the last expansion, they actually force shut down the servers every night at like 3 a.m.
That would be a good idea.
Yeah, it just force kicked everybody.
Yep.
So that might be something we see come up again. So they're still working on some stuff on the back end to kind of address it, but as far as user compensation, if you will, they're giving everybody that owns the expansion or anyone who has an active subscription a free 7-day extension to that subscription.
Okay, that's fair.
with the caveat that they would extend more time if these issues persisted.
Yeah, of course, right? Because right now, hey, hopefully when this fully releases, we won't,
Yeah. They also suspended the house losing service because if you don't access your house every so often, you lose it.
Yep.
So they suspended that, so people aren't losing their houses because they can't get into the server.
Yep.
So yeah, I mean they are trying to take some proactive steps. Obviously, you know how the gaming community is.
Yeah.
People still don't think it's enough. It's kind of weird. It's the new people who are angry.
Yep.
Your longtime Final Fantasy players are like, are cool. They're like,
yeah, hey, do what you can. We'll wait. You'll get this shit addressed.
Yeah, and I don't want to call out the WoW crowd, but
it's always
it
the
just
WoW crowd, dog.
yeah, it just seems to be the same difference. But Final Fantasy, community is super chill.
Not anymore when you fold up half these people, but yeah.
Yeah. Traditionally, it's super chill.
Yep, it's true.
So yeah, I mean, out of all the games, I've played a bunch of games. I do think that the community for Final Fantasy was probably the best experience I had playing these MMOs and stuff like that.
Yeah, I agree with that. I've dabbled in a whole bunch, and yeah, Final Fantasy was definitely the easiest community to get along with.
We've even played with some of the people that I met on there. I remember when we used to play Diablo with Bob and Woogie.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, they were both people I met on Final Fantasy.
Also very chill people. So, yep. Well, hopefully they get that stuff situated, and then maybe we both start playing around that 17th, and we'll see.
Yeah. We shall see.
So we've got some news with Storybook Brawl. Not really so much in patch or changes. Just they have finally have a better organized play for tournament structure for 2022. So basically, they've broken it down per season, and then the seasons will then lead into a world championship, which makes this what I was complaining about with people getting the automatic qualifiers not a big deal to me because they don't get qualified for worlds. So unless they win the championship, and in which case, if you or top 8 it, right? If you do that, then you deserve to be there anyway. So
yeah.
Basically, how it's going to work is every month we'll have qualifiers where how you make it is you literally just make it to mythic rank, which is 4,000 rating. From there, you will have the qualifier tournament for that month. So this December's is 12/15, and then or not 12/15. It's the next week after. It's 12/17 and the 18th. Day 1, and then day 2 will be on Sunday. If you top 8 that, you'll lead to the spring championship. If you don't, you got another shot if you make mythic again in January. Same thing for February, right? And then from there, if you top 8 the spring championship, you're qualified for worlds. Which this works for anybody who's kind of familiar with the Magic the Gathering format. It's actually very reminiscent of that. If you take these as Pro Tour qualifiers to Pro Tour and then the World Tournament or Grand Prix, this is actually the same structure. So I'm not surprised that 2 of the people in there are Magic the Gathering Hall of Famers, and that they decided this was the best structure to use since it's worked for Magic for the 20 plus years it's been in use. So, do you have any particular feelings on the world structure, or?
No, I mean it seems pretty standard. The biggest thing I think I noticed was the change for qualifying for day 2.
Yep.
To be a point limit instead of a placement
raw limit. I like that change too, right? Because that means that if you know what you need to do, right?
Yeah.
I know that, hey, I am officially out of the tournament. I cannot hit 36 points, so there's no point in me playing, and I can move on with my day.
Yeah. I do wonder. I haven't played in any of these tournaments, obviously. I do wonder if they have anything in place to make sure that every lobby is filled. So, like for instance, you have somebody that just gets back-to-back last places, and they know they can't qualify or whatever, and they just drop out from the rest of their matches.
Yep.
Because you don't want to like throw bots in because that's going to artificially inflate people's points.
Yeah, so basically what they've been doing to combat, because the first tournament that I was in, they had bots.
Yeah, I saw that. I watched some of that one, and that was pretty much the only one I really watched a lot of, and so that's kind of where this thought process was coming from.
And I will say, I'm the only person probably in that whole tournament where the existence of the bot actually was harmful to me. And not because the bot's good, but because I knew I was up against the bot, so I greed rolled the decision of experience and didn't fill out my board thinking that I could probably still beat the bot, and then lost to the bot, so I didn't win. My board didn't get upgraded at all, so I spent the whole entire turn from being behind, and essentially top. Oh, I did place higher than the bot, but still, that 7th did not really help.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But after that change, what they did was they broke out all uneven people. Like if you didn't have 8, you'd have what they refer to as a bye round. So if you had 6 rounds to play, there was probably 7 to 8 total rounds to make sure that all lobbies were filled with players. The only lobby that couldn't be would be that last lobby, right? Like there's only 8 people left, right? And everybody else dropped, or 7 people left, and everybody dropped out. There's gonna be a bot in that lobby.
Right.
So that's what they did. It worked really well. So that's what they've been doing moving forward. And that's probably just the way that they'll do it. It does suck though, as someone who hates buys. I understand they need to exist, but like that kind of really crushes my rhythm. Like I got a first round bye in the tournament because they did it in alphabetical order, and Z is the last. So yeah, it kind of sucks, right? I was like, all right, I'm ready for the tournament. I'm already warmed up. Round 1, bye. Oh, okay. I guess I'll wait 25 minutes, like, you know. But I know they exist. It's fine. They have them in Magic too. You can get round 1 buys in Magic, whatever. But yeah. Do you think with this worlds type structure, you're more interested in potentially watching, or is this more of like, man, if it's on and there's nothing else to do, or even past that, like I really don't care?
I don't think it increases my desire to watch the qualifiers or even necessarily the championships. I do think the introduction of Worlds is the Worlds itself is, I think, the premium viewer event.
Yeah.
That would be one to watch. Whereas I don't think it increases my desire to watch any of the others.
What if I make day 2?
If you like day 2, I will watch, mostly because that screws up our D&D sessions. But
that's true. Brittany's already. Brittany, this is the first one that Brittany qualified for. She was like, "I'm gonna crush you." I was like, "Do you know how sad I would be?" Like, don't get me wrong. I'm very supportive of my wife. I want her to do well. I want her to crush it. But in a scenario where like I scrub out, like literally, like not 2 8th place finishes, and Brittany's like, "Oh yeah, I topped 8 the first time I did it." Like, I do have to admit, a little piece of me that I hate would be like, "Fuck this bitch."
Yeah, how upset would you be if she did get top 8 in the qualifier
or something stupid
and qualify for the spring championship when you still haven't made a day 2 on her first try?
Yeah, I wish I could tell you that I'm a better person, right? And that I'd be like, oh, no big deal. Like, I'm happy for you. And I would be. I'd be ecstatic. Like, you know, that's for me, that's great bragging rights. But the person inside of me, the competitive person, which is a big part of my person, would be like, you're such a fucking loser.
This throws me back to, we play in a fantasy football league and have since, like, freshman year of high school.
Mm-hmm.
And there was this one guy who was in our league, and he's the biggest fantasy football person I know. He like lived and breathed it, but he never won the league.
Aw,
He would finish first in this regular season every year and then get beat in the playoffs.
that sucks.
And so we're already out of college, still playing, and we need some more players. And he gets his brother and his wife to join the lobby or the
Yeah.
league. They both make the championship game. He's got to watch as either his wife or his brother wins a championship before he does.
Oh my god. How did he take that? I need to know. I'll prep myself in case this happens.
He doesn't play fantasy football with us anymore.
You know what he said? Because he doesn't play fantasy football anymore. That's how I retire from Storybook Brawl. For future Tragikast episodes, we may not be talking about the Storybook Brawl. Oh man, for real though, and obviously we'll talk more about the tournament. That'll probably be next week's conversation since it'll be the week before it, and maybe they'll drop it like a new patch. But yeah, I hope that she does well. I hope we both do well. I hope I beat her in the finals, something silly like that. But yeah, we will see. In other news, Sony's Spartacus could be the PlayStation's answer to the Xbox Game Pass. So, in synopsis, Sony's planning to create an Xbox Game Pass-like subscription service, according to Bloomberg, which had some stuff going on. So, it's supposed to integrate. They're going to keep the PlayStation Plus branding and kind of phase out the PlayStation Now branding, but offer a tiered PlayStation Plus subscription that will have. I think that the low tier is pretty much what PlayStation Plus is now. The mid tier gives some PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5 games, and then the high tier is pretty much doing what PlayStation Now is currently doing, as long with everything else for PlayStation 1, 2, 3, and PSP games. So overall, both of us being Sony people, how does this make you feel?
I mean, this is not unexpected. I think we've even talked about it before that.
Yeah.
I mean, this was a change they had to make, and we expected them to make. The big thing comes to be, what do we learn about this in the future? Right now, we just have the bare bones that they're combining these two. But what does that mean? Are we going to get the day one games on PlayStation Now?
Yeah.
Or Spartacus, whatever they call it.
And they probably will just keep it like a PlayStation Plus, and then they'll have a top tier, right? Like they're probably gonna platinum, right?
Yeah.
Or something like that. They can even use their current trophy structure. Yeah. Are we gonna have day one PlayStation Platinum or whatever they're gonna end up calling it games?
Yeah, I think that's the big thing here. If they don't do that, or at least to some degree, this is not an answer to Game Pass. This is just a bundle of already supported features.
True. I agree with that.
So yeah, I mean, it's I guess it's exciting news to know that they are doing something and it is coming soon. But I do think we still have to hold reservations to what is coming soon.
Sure, there's really not enough information. But as someone who owns already the Now subscription, this seems like almost a win-win for you.
Oh yeah, I mean it'll save me an extra what, $50 a year.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I said, I don't hate this move. I mean it's a great move, and one that was needed. But we still, just have to wait.
I agree, and it's something that obviously was buzz around everywhere, right? But I think you're 100% right in terms of being like, we may be jumping the gun, because even this says, hey, don't expect Sony to include its big new games day one like Game Pass does, right? Well, if you don't give us that, or at least maybe not Sony's games, but any of those games, then I agree with you. This isn't an answer to Microsoft's Game Pass, because
Yeah,
some of the
see,
stuff they offer is insane.
I see this the opposite. Because they're saying don't expect Sony to include their big games.
You would expect that
I
Sony
could
would include their
I
big
could
games, Sony
very
Studios.
clearly see Sony put their big games on here
I agree.
without any of the other ones. So Xbox is getting some other stuff, and I could see Sony just putting their games on here, and I think that's still competitive because most people will agree that Sony's exclusives are just a little bit better than Xbox's.
Yep.
Well, in the past they have been. In the future, that's debatable considering Bethesda.
Yeah. Well, yeah. We'll have to wait and see. I think this is definitely something to keep your eye on. I agree with you. But yeah, I'm hoping. I'm crossing my fingers because I've been looking at Game Pass and Game Pass like because of the xCloud and stuff that are coming on and I've been once I clear this game log in like 2022 or 2023. Like it makes sense to have a subscription like this, right? But I really don't want to go to Microsoft if I can avoid it.
Yeah.
My own personal preference.
Right. I agree. Yeah. But we'll see.
Yeah, we will see. Hopefully, we're Sony people, both of us, so we will definitely, as we get more stuff and hear more stuff, we'll share conjecture. Let's talk about some Critical Role. I managed to catch the recap, and oh, by the way, congratulations on your gifted sub.
Yeah.
I saw that during the rebroadcast.
I was really shocked because it was just one gifted sub.
Yeah, it was to you, so...
Yeah. Normally when I get gifted subs, it's when somebody's like gifts 100 subs or something like this. This was a person that gifted one sub, and I got picked somehow.
Yeah. Oh man, that was funny because when you're like, "Hey, someone gifted me a sub," I literally opened up my chat, I scrolled up, and I was like, "Yeah, there it is."
And I mean, there were at least I think 15,000 people watching, something like that. So
broadcast, yeah. Because that's what I said too. It's like, man, that math doesn't check out.
The funny thing is I get gifted subs all the time on Twitch.
Really?
Yeah, I'm on like a 3-month subscription streak to a Wise Guy, and have not subbed to him myself.
That's great.
I actually think I have 4 GTA subscriptions active right now, and all of them were gifted.
That is great. Oh man.
Yeah. I've been gifted, I think, 3 subs to DK stream, a couple to 5-ups. It's like, I get gifted subs all the time, man.
Man, you gotta tell me what your secret is.
Yeah, I don't know. And I won that giveaway on Yuck stream that one time. So I don't know. I just have the Twitch luck, I guess.
Man, I do not. I very rarely get any gifted subs. So if anybody out wants to sub to me personally, go ahead and do that.
Yeah, I've been gifted 4 subs in the last 17 days.
Oh man, that's really cool. But I managed to catch the rebroadcast. But you obviously saw the same thing, right? Where they it failed at the end. Like the
Sorry, what? I watched it, but my mind's blanking. What failed?
The rebroadcast. The
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it just ended at the end. It doesn't matter for you, since
it didn't end. It started back up if you didn't close out.
I didn't close out, but I guess I didn't wait long enough.
Oh, you had to refresh.
I didn't refresh. I just had to keep open.
Yeah, if you refreshed, it actually picked up right where it cut off at. So.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of what the ending was.
It definitely seemed like it was winding down, like there wasn't too much left, but...
Yeah. I think, it's just a bunch of discussion and making plans, I think. Oh, the theater.
Yeah.
Did you see the part where Robbie met that person in the theater?
Yeah. Which one, with the 10 platinum, or after that?
After that.
Yeah.
Somebody comes up to the box and tells him that somebody wants to talk to him.
Oh, no, I didn't see that.
Okay, so that is a spoiler. I won't go there then.
Alright, I'll just watch it after this since, it's up now. But
yeah, so that I think was the biggest revelation. There was actually a funny line at the very end that but you needed to see that part to get the line, and if I tell you the line, it'll spoil the part.
gotcha. Then we'll have to reconvene after I watch it.
Yeah, because it's going through, and I think basically what it is it's Sam talking to everybody about what they got that day, or like, and he like names off like 3 things, and he says Robbie got what he got somebody else who I can't remember. And then he goes to Laudna. He's like, and you got dead. He's like,
You got dead. And we also found out that Sam could be used as a thermos.
This is true. Although I don't know if I'd want to drink that, but Fern did.
Well, the look on Estro's face when Matt was playing him, when he was like, "You need me to top you off some coffee?" I'll drink that after you leave. Yeah, like, fucking, these people are great. And I realized something. Something that our campaign does. Is it? How many fights total have they been in? Like 3?
They had the table or the furniture.
Yep.
Then they had the first fight inside of the like inn room.
Yep.
And then they fought him again when they found him. So at least 3.
And then Estros was 4.
Ah, right. Yeah.
Yep. And only a handful of days have really gone by, like up to where we've started.
I think they're on day 3. So yeah. Yeah, they're very similar to us. About the same.
We run a critical role style because I'm not Matt Mercer.
Yeah.
And we don't have voice actors. So please,
yeah, it is a very big shift from our last campaign. Our last campaign was very combat driven.
Yep.
Because I tried to force you guys to roleplay. It's like, nah, we're good.
Well, I think it was mostly because this was a lot of people's first iteration, right? And it was easier to understand the combat.
Yeah.
Than it was to be like, oh, I.
Yeah, and this time we all made our characters, because I know, it's partially my fault, and it does go back to them being new characters, or new players, is I basically built the backstories for most of the characters in my campaign, because they didn't know what they wanted.
Yep.
Heck, James didn't know his backstory at all. He's just like, I want to wake up with amnesia and not remember anything. It's like, so when you don't have that backstory or motivation for your character, the roleplay is not.
It's not deep. It's not your character.
Yeah, and I do think in our campaign, Narith probably did have the best roleplay, and his character was built by him. He told me, this is what I want my character to do, and I was like, all right, here's how that happens in my world.
Yep.
And so and for this current campaign, we all came in with our characters.
Yep.
It's like, this is what we want our characters to be. These are our backstories, our motivations, and it's really just driven nothing but roleplay.
Yeah, which is fine with me. Like, I just kind of found that was funny, right? I was watching Critical Role, and I know we had that discussion, and I was just like, oh my god, we're closer to that style of DM session, or like our campaign, than we are to anything else that I've seen. Which is
cool. Yeah, there was a point during the broadcast where I was like watching chat, and I think they had went on like a 30-minute stretch or something where Matt hadn't said anything. It was just full RP. And some people were like putting stuff in there. I was like, I feel bad for Matt. And then other people were commenting, and it's like,
nope, don't feel
dude, you've never DM'd. This is the DM's dream.
100%. Every minute that I don't have to speak is I'm just absorbed in somebody else helping tell my story or our story, right? It's a shared thing. It's awesome. It really is. I love the fact that this is how we're running things. And if we want to change it up and our next session we go into the tower and just have a hack and slash dungeon campaign, that's fine too.
Yeah, I do think that's one good thing about ours, or this new one, is we can just do full roleplay, but anytime we want to do combat,
Yep, it's as simple as going to a location.
Especially now that I've gotten that problem solved.
Yep. Oh man, I can't wait to have that conversation. Everyone's like, "What the fuck did you do?"
Yeah, and one thing that's really great about it is, not only did I get the problem solved, I forced Perryville to make a huge mistake.
Yeah.
He didn't get my agreement in writing.
True. He didn't.
But so yeah, that was.
At the same time, I don't think he feels he needs to do that.
Correct, and I don't. My character is not open to like just going to defy it or anything, but
Yep.
For a business person, it did strike her as a little odd, but
yep.
And it's kind of funny that she basically got all she wanted and didn't have to really give anything up for it.
Yep. But Perryville also got what he wanted, but that's yet to be revealed yet.
Yeah.
So we will find it. But yeah, I'm loving this session of Critical Role. All the characters are great. Laudna's dead.
Yeah. We find out that the big spoiler is her patron is.
Yeah.
So yeah, that story should be real interesting to open up.
Yeah.
And it's just funny how she's like, I don't even care about. She's like, yeah, this person gives me powers, but I don't care.
Nope, doesn't matter to me. I mean, why would you? She plays her character like with very little emotional attachment besides Imogen, right?
Yeah.
So, you're gonna kill me, or you're gonna take my powers away? Okay, whatever.
Yeah, which is not unprecedented in Critical Role because we saw it in EXU for sure.
Yep.
Opal had hers taken away.
Yep.
But in campaign 2, Ford completely loses his powers. He gets on the bad side of his patron. His patron just takes everything away. He has to go find a new patron.
Yeah.
So there are like several episodes where he has no powers.
God, that has to be rough. And yeah, we actually saw that with for shortly with mine as well.
Yeah.
My character in your campaign.
Yep. Your character lost your powers and basically just had to change subclasses.
Yep. Luckily, you allowed me to do that, so it wasn't that painful. But yeah.
Yeah, and Ford's case, he didn't change subclasses. He found another patron that just kind of gave him back his abilities.
Ah, nice. And that NordVPN, I just saw this.
Oh yeah, the Nordverse. How was your first experience with the Nordverse?
Yeah, when Mauritius tells Robbie to put that on his reel, he should actually do that. That was great. When he was pretending to be that elite, virus, and he was like, I'm gonna be like a Fortnite no skinny default dancing on.
He played that perfectly though, because he started out was like, hey, can I get in on this? And they're just like, no.
That was so good. I seriously could watch just for their sponsorship in the beginning, and then be like, okay, and just not.
Oh yeah, I always make sure I'm here for the sponsorship.
Yeah.
It's like,
they do an excellent
I don't care
job.
about the rest of the announcements, but I've got to see the sponsor.
Yep. And don't get me wrong, they got cool stuff on their merch store, but yeah, God, the sponsor ones are great.
Yeah, that's what happens when you give Sam just
creative control of anything.
Yeah. No restraints, just let him do whatever he wants to do.
I love it though. It's so good. All right. Well, let's close this out. We're probably gonna be pretty predictable, I imagine. But what are you planning for this week?
Yeah, it'll be Ghost of Tsushima, Back for Blood if we can get people together. Maybe some Fall Guys. Who
Yep.
knows?
Yep. I really hate the new Fall Guys maps.
Yeah, they're not the best. But yeah, that's
Yep.
probably about it.
And add some Storybook Brawl for me, and replace Ghost of Tsushima with Yakuza 5, and that's pretty much about it. But that's life. It's still awesome. Games are releasing too, and who knows what will happen next week. Well, that
Yeah,
is.
and Christmas is coming up, so
Yep.
who knows what new games we have on the horizon.
Every time I do the show and I look at this week, I end up finding at least one thing. I'm like, ooh, that's interesting. So hopefully it continues to happen all the way to Christmas. That's like my version of an advent calendar.
New video games.
I'm
That would be the
work.
best advent calendar. Is just you pull it down. There's a game code in there or a disc or something.
Oh my god, that would be awesome. We need to market that idea.
Yeah, it wouldn't even be. You could do. You would want it to be simple games that you could beat in an hour.
Oh my god, that'd be so cool. Like just smaller indie games too. That would be yeah.
Yeah.
I love it. We have a plan.
And then for like the final day, you drop some like huge RPG.
Yeah.
Takes you all 600 plus hours.
That's the one you get right before Christmas. What the?
It's like, White Knight Chronicles. It's like, we'll see you next year.
You'll be playing that until the advent calendar. Probably past that. All right. Well, thank you everyone for watching, and we hope to catch you. I will be streaming more this week, I promise. So please stop by the channel. Also watch us on Sundays for our own D&D, where we are not Critical Role, but it's still pretty fun. All right. Everyone have a good one.